Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. I think it's important that I say, before we even start this show, this is all jokes. That's a disclaimer. It is all jokes. I have now understood that everyone in the sports media space has the right to tell jokes, and if you feel offended about a certain thing, people have the right to come out and tell you, why do you feel this offended? It's just jokes. So if you're going to be offended by anything that we produce in today's show, I want to make it clear to you from the onset that I am just joking. Now, if you're going to say that no, you're being serious, right? You're being a hater, then I have the right to also say no. When LeBron made those comments about Austin Reeves being compared to Michael Jordan, then no, he was being serious. He's just being a hater. So I think we need to keep the same energy mutually, and then we can keep it going. So let me get into this show. I said today that I'm just going to say my piece. Whoever feel a type of way about it, going to feel a type of way about it. If you feel a type of way, that means you're clearly watching it. Now, as you guys know, some people try to make this play-in tournament, not the play-in tournament, the in-season tournament cup, whatever the hell it is. I'm not even paying attention to it. Some people try to make it seem like it was this important thing, right? And some of the people that tried to do this were LeBron James fans and LeBron himself. We produced shows yesterday when the Lakers won that cup of LeBron fans jumping on Twitter, Instagram, talking about, oh my God, he now has his fifth ring. He won his fifth championship. He's now finally caught Michael Jordan. Oh, yes. I mean, he's five just one away and all of this stuff, right? And people were actually doing this, right? They were actually like real life doing this. Some people try to downplay it like they weren't really hype when they knew that they were hype. And even LeBron and those guys were hype. For God's sakes, they were pouring out champagne like as if they won the NBA championship. They had goggles on in the press conference. It was incredible. Like they were really, really happy, happy to be up there. So what happened? This morning, I was kind of combing through the internet looking for what to talk about. Then I came across an article from fadeawayworld.net. And the article had the headline, because some people going, oh, you're reaching. So what I need you guys to do is, instead of posting all of this stuff in the comments on this show, go message fadeawayworld.net, because that's what they're the ones that made me aware of this information. And the article had the headline that says, LeBron James reportedly deleted a lyric about him being just one ring away from Michael Jordan after winning the in-season tournament. That's what I want to get into. Let me continue on. It says, LeBron James reportedly posted a lyric on his Instagram story, which stated he is just one away from Michael. James has won 4 championships and the in-season tournament, while Michael Jordan has won 6 championships. It then continues on, and I want to show you guys the post. He apparently posted this and he deleted it. And the lyric read is from a Drake song, and it says, "And's talking about when this gonna be repeated. What the F, bro? I'm one away from Michael. And beat it. What?" Right? Now, if you go, If you go to the post itself, you will see that LeBron himself, let me see if I can actually find the post. LeBron himself actually posted it online, right? He posted it and he then removed it. He put it up and you can see 37 seconds ago, and then he deletes it. So what happens? I start going through the post, and some of LeBron's supporters start saying, oh, no. He's getting it from a Drake lyric. And I'm like, yes, I understand that it's from a Drake lyric, but nevertheless, he actually posted it. And let me actually look at the post here. It says, this is from Jake. LeBron really posted and deleted this on his IG story last night, and then you can see it right there. Now, some people will say, oh, you're inferring too much, right? You're reading too much into it. And I'm going to call BS on all of that. And I'll tell you why. Because this is not the first time LeBron has used hip-hop lyrics to express a certain sentiment. When he crossed billionaire status, he posted a picture of him, and I think at a football game in the UK or somewhere in Europe, and he was using Jay-Z lyrics, right? So it's not like as if it has to be literal. He's used hip hop lyrics to express his feelings about a certain thing. Now, why would he post that? Why would he post that specific lyric? Who else is the Mike that we're talking about? I'm one more ring away from Mike. Now, some people will say, "Oh, you're reading too much into it." I don't think I am, because the fact of the matter is, he was really, really, really hype about it. And we put up a poll on the channel today, and I think this is what I think is happening. I think LeBron fans right now are going through a pretty interesting moment in time. We actually put up a poll. I said, "Do you believe LeBron James counts the NBA Cup as a ring?" 65% of the 5,000 voters said no. 35 said yes. Here's the reality. What's really taking place is that some of these fans count it as a ring. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that hype. I believe LeBron himself counts it as some major achievement. Now, here's the part where it sucks for these guys. They also know that the vast majority of NBA fans don't care. They know that. They know that the overwhelming majority of NBA fans don't care. They know that the overwhelming majority is not going to place a premium on a tournament that was essentially invented to incentivize players to give a damn about the regular season. That's all it was. No one in their right mind would watch that tournament and say, "Man, I think the team that is going to win the championship just won." No one thinks this. No one thinks this. No one would compare an in-season tournament cup to an NBA Finals championship ring. You've got to be on something hot, because you will clearly know that the path that it takes to win a championship is exponentially greater and harder than it is to win an in-season cup. We know this for a fact. For the simple fact that you have to win 16 games over a 2.5-month period tells you which one is more difficult to achieve. So if you were to place any level of seriousness on this, it shows that you just up there twerking it up all over the place. Now, public service announcement. I want to first of all give a quick shout out to all the people that do lives about us, talking for us about 3-4 hours, using Dreamers Pro's name in the titles. I appreciate that. You guys are keeping Dreamers Pro's name alive in the algorithm. I appreciate that. So feel free to do another live after this particular show here. You guys, again, it's nothing but engagement. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate those sentiments. And here you have LeBron himself posting that and deleting it. Why would you delete it? Some people say don't read it so much into it. Why delete it? If it's not a big deal, if it's just a Drake lyric, then keep it up. Why delete it? Why delete it? This is the question. If it's no big deal, then why delete it? Must be tough being a LeBron fan at this moment. Y'all are scrambling for any little thing. So, well, the in-season tournament is over, and now we're going to go back to reality and get back to the serious basketball, and let's see what really matters, which is the NBA championship. Let me get into this topic here. So we recently touched on a disturbing report surrounding young starting NBA Zion Williamson. Did you guys know Zion came into the NBA with the same class with John Morant? Actually, Zion, funny enough, was supposed to be bigger than John Morant. John Morant, who will be back in 10 days, so we're going to be covering John Morant the next few days. He was supposed to be the bigger draw. Like, coming into the draft, he was the bigger draw. He was the number one pick, right? So there was supposed to be all of this hype and anticipation because Zion Williamson had this frame where he would, he had this big stocky frame and he could jump out of the arena. It was quite incredible. But over the last few years, injuries have held him back. He's not been able to play a lot of games. And a lot of people have attributed that, number one, to his weight, right? Because they said he's too heavy for his frame and given the way that he plays basketball. And some people have felt that it has limited his ability to stay healthy and go out there and perform. But it's not just people in the, in the exterior. It's also people within the New Orleans Pelicans, because they actually put certain mechanisms within his contract that can kick in if he doesn't maintain certain weight levels, which is insane. Which is absolutely insane when you think about what's at stake. You're being paid $200 million to play basketball, and all you need to do is ensure that you develop the requisite discipline to ensure that you're in tip-top shape to go out there and be able to perform every single night at a high level, and fulfill your contract, for God's sakes, right? And then there were reports coming out where they were essentially saying that Zion is tuning out people within the organization that he's not taking control of his weight. So what happened today? I tuned in to watch ESPN First Take, and they were actually reacting to the results of the in-season tournament between the Lakers and the Indiana Pacers. So while they were talking about Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. They then moved the conversation to another point where Stephen A. Smith then brings up Zion Williamson, who he seems to be very, very irritated with. So what he did was he then decided to elaborate on why he has been so upset with Zion's progression as a star in the NBA, and more importantly, with the job that he's been doing in terms of getting his weight under control. So for those of you who didn't hear that exchange, I want to quickly play it for you now, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe had to say here.
And last point about Zion Williamson. Have you no shame? Shannon Sharpe, this brother had an opportunity. He's more than 15 years younger than LeBron James. LeBron James is in his 21st season. Forget the talent, because we know Zion Williamson is a big-time talent. The conditioning. I saw the brother go to the free throw line. He looked like he had a belly. It is shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people. You got chefs in New Orleans who love him. They're looking for him. Every chef there wants to meet him because they know he'll show up to their restaurant. The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table. I'm quoting. He'll eat the table. What in the hell is going on with Zion Williamson? If Zion Williamson is healthy, conditioned, not missing 63% of his games like he has thus far in his career, New Orleans got a chance, Shannon, to be in a conference championship game. Without him, they're going home in the first round. Have you no pride? Have you no discipline? Have you no focus? Get your stuff together, young man. Get your stuff together. You are too great to be walking around looking as rotund as you're looking. Get it together. Go ahead, Shannon.
Stephen A., you're absolutely right. The very first thing that Zion Williamson should have done once he declared for the NBA draft was call Charles Barkley. Now, whether you refer to as Mr. Barkley, Charles, or Chuck, how did you do it? I want to play a long, healthy career. I believe he's a more athletic Charles Barkley. That's what he looks like. A guy that's explosive. 200. He needs to be 260. He doesn't need to be 300 pounds. And I've told people his eating habits, his diet is unbecoming a professional athlete that's making that kind of money. Oh, let the man live. Well, if you want to live, go ahead, get out of the NBA. Because it's being reported that they've asked him, get your training up to par. Get you a nutritionist and get your conditioning up to par. And he has yet to do that. Can you see that is robbing you of years because you're injured? It's disappointing because two things are happening. His stomach is going one way and his behind is going the other way. And as a professional athlete, that's not a good sign. Yeah. That's not a good sign, Stephen.
And Shannon, Shannon, was I accurate when I said he went to the free throw line and I saw a belly? Is that what you saw?
You can look at him and tell he's overweight.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Behind one way and the stomach one way.
But you know what, guys? Big young people grow to be big old people.
That's right.
And if you're a professional athlete, especially in that sport, that's why he has all the injuries. What are the injuries? Lower body, knees, ankles. Why? Because you're not meant to be able to be that explosive. He's an 18-wheeler with a Ferrari engine. So imagine an 18-wheeler that can go 180 miles an hour and try to slam on brakes. What's going to happen? Stuff's going to start breaking. Stuff's going to start tearing. Zion, you're too good. We're
great.
Not beating you.
Great.
We're
rooting for him.
We want you to be your absolute best.
So this is some tough love.
Yes,
tough love, pep talk.
You're denying that. Yeah. You're denying yourself
Molly,
the
you realize that? Molly, do you have any idea how? I'm saying, all joking aside, Molly, this brother walked up. He went to the free throw line and the belly bounced. I'm not joking. Okay. No, that's not funny. I'm being dead serious. He got to show up, and he's too great.
So you heard what the gentleman had to say. Listen, here are my thoughts. I can understand their frustration. From Shannon's standpoint, Shannon Sharpe was a former professional athlete. If you look at Shannon Sharpe, he is in excellent shape, which means that he has he's developed great habits, right? And, he has a lot of self-discipline, especially at that age. To be at the age of 15 and be in the shape that he's in, you got to stand up and clap for him. I think that's one of the reasons he's also a LeBron James fan. And it is one of the things I do admire about LeBron, which is his commitment to staying in tip-top shape. That in itself, is something that you have to be impressed with. At least I am. Some people may not be, but I am. So I can understand from Shannon, who is someone who played at a high level and was willing to do anything to get out of the circumstances that he was in prior to him becoming an NFL player. So he's like, bro, you're blowing it up. You're blowing an opportunity of a lifetime. So I can understand Shannon Sharpe's position. If you look at Stephen A. Smith's position, I think he's looking at it from the standpoint, listen, I'm someone that's covered sports for a very long time. I've interacted with a lot of athletes. I know a lot of people that would die to be in a position that you're in. And also, I am a hard worker. And Stephen A. Smith is a hard worker. No one accused him of being lazy. He works very hard to earn his dollars. And he cannot understand why someone in the position of Zion, who is earning an average of $35 million per annum, cannot get his weight under control. It is something that I think really eats at him, right? In the case of Zion, I don't know. Right. I don't know. We've heard various reports out there that some people say, well, one of the reasons why Zion is doing this is because he's not happy with being in New Orleans. That's a cop-out. That is an absolute cop-out. Do you know why it's a cop-out? Because even if you're not happy being in New Orleans Pelicans, you do have a responsibility and a requirement to ensure that you're in tip-top shape to earn the money you're being paid. You being paid a certain amount of money to play a sport has nothing to do with whether or not you like doing it. Fact of the matter is you signed on to receive that $200 million over the next 5 years. So you were okay to sign the deal to receive $200 million, and you're not okay with then doing everything that it takes to ensure that you're in shape. Then that means it's just a money grab. You're gonna take the money and then not really do what it takes to earn the money. That's a money grab. And no one can respect that. I'm all for people making what they deserve, but if you're making what you deserve, go out there and earn it. Go out there and earn it. Black, white, blue, green, whatever. Go out there and earn it because it sets a negative precedent. And you don't know that. You don't realize that the things that you're doing is actually going to affect the people coming after you. You better believe it. That's why they have collective bargaining agreements and they put certain things in place to avoid these things from happening in the future. So to me, I can understand their frustration. I don't really know what's going on in Zion's head. As you guys remember, there was a lot of drama, off the court drama that we're not going to get into because it was just absolutely too crazy to be even talking about it, which shows that Zion doesn't really have his personal life in check to be involved in that amount of drama, especially at that age, is insane. Zion got more drama than TMZ. Like, it's insane. And he's so young. So I can understand their frustration, but hey. Let me get into this topic here. I'm actually enjoying myself right now. I'm actually enjoying myself. So there's this thing that just happened, which is the in-season tournament, which finally came to a conclusion, right? And the Lakers were able to win it. The first one, the inaugural tournament. And or was it the first one, whatever the word is, and LeBron won the in-season tournament MVP. And with that came some people out there saying, oh, well, you see, LeBron has something that Michael Jordan doesn't have. And I'm like, is this even a conversation? Are we even using our thinking caps when we bring up this point? Why would you hold something against Jordan that wasn't available for Jordan to go after while he was a player? But nevertheless, it doesn't stop these people from going out there and try to use it as a talking. It doesn't. As insane as it sounds, they actually go out there and use it. Think about this. LeBron will be turning 39 this year. Michael Jordan is 60 years old. So what would you have liked Jordan to be doing? Still be playing basketball to wait for the play-ins, to the point where the NBA gets to the point where these players don't even give a damn about the game, that they have to create some mechanism to incentivize players by basically handing them a pot of gold at the end of the brick road and saying, here's $500,000 for you guys to go take this thing seriously. He was supposed to wait for that to happen to then prove that he can win an in-season tournament after he already accomplished all of those other things. But nevertheless, this is what some of these people were. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, these dudes. So anyway, some of them were making this point. So what happened this morning, I was doing some research And I was going through the internet and I came across another article from Fadeaway World. And by the way, if you feel a type of way about this information coming out, go message Fadeaway. They're the ones that are posting this information. And I came across an article and had the headline saying, Evan Turner reminds NBA fans Michael Jordan won an NCAA title while LeBron James did it. And I was like, very, very interesting. Let's read on. It says, Evan Turner reminded everyone that Michael Jordan won a national championship in college after fans jokingly pointed to the Bulls icon never winning the in-season tournament. Continues on. LeBron James has now added the NBA in-season tournament title to his already impressive resume. After his triumph, many on X hilariously pointed to Michael Jordan never winning the tournament. But Evan Turner was quick to remind them that Jordan did win the NCAA title while LeBron didn't. And he wrote, MJ has a NCAA title though. Then what happens? The crust, the crunch, and the burn ensued. Some people started posting, not a high school title. Somebody wrote, at some point you got to get tired of giving out facts for free. Another person said, and LeBron owned you, Evan. Of course, they're going to say that. Another person said, LeBron is a GOAT. You can't deny that. Another irrelevant comment. Another person said, you know LeBron never played in college. Unfair comparison. Whew. We stop. Oh, Lord, help us all. I got to read that again. This man said, you know LeBron never played in college. Unfair comparison. Then someone responded, MJ never played in an NBA in-season tournament, though. And then another person said, it's cool. Bron got 4 high school titles as well. So, what are we supposed to make of this? You know LeBron never played in college. Unfair comparison. What are we supposed to make with this? What do y'all suggest we make of this? What do we do with these people? What do we do? This wouldn't even be a show. We would not even be talking about this had these people not gone out there and try to bring up this silly point of, well, you see, MJ never won that. So now we bring it up. So Jordan won an NCAA title. LeBron never did. So what do we do with this information? Y'all let me know. Now what? Then we're going to move to the next one. Well, it's not fair because LeBron came in high school. So then why are you bringing up ridiculous points? The fact of the matter is the in-season tournament was just invented this year. That's number one. Number two, instead of talking about things that weren't available when Jordan wasn't there, let's talk about things that were actually available to both of these guys for the majority of their careers. Let's talk about those things. LeBron never won a Defensive Player of the Year. Never led the league in steals at any point ever. Jordan did it 3 times. Jordan has led the league in more categories than LeBron. You realize that LeBron has led the league in 2 categories in his entire career. That's in assists in 2020, and I think in scoring, I don't remember the year, in the 2000 something. Jordan led the league for 10 straight years in scoring. That's 10 categories. He led the league in steals 3 times. Jordan also holds the highest regular season scoring average ever. He also holds the highest playoff scoring average ever. Do you guys know that Michael Jordan's scoring average in the playoffs is actually greater than that of his regular season scoring average? And you know he holds the highest scoring average ever. Do you know that Jordan actually averages more points over his career than Wilt Chamberlain? Do you know that MJ holds the record for averaging 33 and I think and a half points per game? That's for his career in the playoffs. Why do y'all keep messing with this dude? The thing that gets me is some LeBron fans, you guys are pretty audacious. You couldn't find any other NBA player to play with. Y'all decided we want to go at the GOAT. How can you take your resume that is full of so many holes, walk up the stairs and go to Jordan and say, hey, I'm ready to argue you back and forth about it? How can y'all do this? If we want to get into the nitty gritty, I got to ask the question. Do you think it's fair to be in the top 5 all time with a losing record on the biggest stage of the sport? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it is fair to have a losing record in the finals and still be considered a top 5 player? Do you think it's fair? It's a legitimate question to ask. Do you know why? Because the majority of the players that most people have in the top 5 don't have losing records in the finals. The majority. Let me look at Magic Johnson. Let me see. Magic Johnson. I forgot record in the finals. Magic Johnson. No, I don't want to know that. I want to know. I think Magic Johnson is 5-4 in the finals. He's plus 500. We know Jordan is 100%. We know Kobe's 5-7. Let's look at Kareem. Kareem record in the finals. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's above 500. He's 6-4 in the finals. He's above 500. He's at 60%. Like, these are guys that we all mentioned in the top 5. So how did LeBron find a way to get in there? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair that we have him ranked so high even though he has a losing record? Do we think it's fair? And if we overlook that, what does this say about us as NBA fans in terms of us prioritizing winning? What does it say about us? Listen, I'm going to say it once more, and it's going to piss off a few people. And the only people that are going to be pissed off are the people that are here watching. I'm one of those people that don't believe this debate is close, man. I don't. I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan, and I had to come to the sobering conclusion that Jordan is even better than Kobe. Because as much as I think Kobe's a great player, as a basketball player, and I look at some of his accolades, when you look at his, when you do the eye test and you look at Kobe Bryant play basketball, and then you look at his accomplishments, and then you look at MJ play basketball, and you look at his accomplishments, it doesn't add up. And when you use that juxtaposition or that metric of measurement, and you then compare him to other players, if you look at MJ and LeBron, although LeBron is a physical specimen, I believe Michael Jordan was even a greater physical specimen. He could jump higher, and Jordan looked like he could actually levitate, which he's the only basketball player I've ever seen that. Jordan actually looks like he could float. It's a weird, if you go look at Jordan highlights, it's weird. He doesn't move like a normal human being. He doesn't. And that's without accusations. He doesn't move like a normal human being. And I want to quickly say this. Someone messaged me on Instagram to close with this point. And they said that they enjoy the content that we produce. But they felt like as if we took a below the belt shot. When we asked the question about why we believe LeBron is able to perform at such a high level. And some people thought it was a suggestive question, like, what are you suggesting? And maybe they thought that was a bit below the belt. And I told him that I understood his position, but I think it's also important that he bear this in mind as well. We need to be careful about who we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with a bunch of saints. I've read in various comments and various channels where some people have questioned Jordan's role in his father's demise when they thought that, okay, let me be nasty. I've heard various people say the only reason Kobe Bryant gets support because he's dead. Get over Kobe, he's dead. And others use his case, or he's a you-know-what from his case. So we need to be careful when you cry crocodile tears. We got to know who we're dealing with. All right? We got to know who we're dealing with. And of all of the sports fans of all of the sports figures that I've spoken about over the years, I've never gotten to the point where those fans of those players then decided to take it to the personal level and start making personal attacks to you. And by the way, to close with this, Suzette, I watch your channel from time to time because you're always at me in my show. At me, you're always adding me, always exposing me. You always got this picture of yourself. Sometimes you show my picture. Then sometimes you show yourself in videos when you decide to do a video. You always got this little cockeyed look when you're like this with the same hat that you've been wearing for God knows how long. And then what happens, Suzette? I finally got a picture of your face. I've been trying to see what your face looks like, and someone sent it to me, and I actually saw it. Suzette, you making all those comments, and you look like Hermit the Frog? And you making all those comments? Don't play with me, son. Don't play with me. I'm gonna leave it at that. Now you can go do a 6-hour live. And y'all know how I know Suzette gonna do a live? Because he watches this channel every day.